Welcome to the Crypto Campfire.
They're Wilfred Brimley approved, Mitch and the Perfesser, featuring special guest Onwadan.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Campfire podcast. This is the Perfesser.
Mitch.
And today we're going to be talking with Onwadan, founder of the Onwadan Charity Foundation. Before we start talking to him, let's take a look at the crypto news from the Crypto Gent.
Thanks, Perfesser. Hello, Crypto Campfire listeners, and welcome to the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. New CME Bitcoin options spark unusually strong activity, says JP Morgan, and new data suggests Bitcoin and gold aren't as correlated as one might think. Bitcoin is becoming more valuable to Iranians amid tensions with the US. That's the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent, and it's back to you, Perfesser.
Thanks a lot, Crypto Gent. So, Onwadan, it's good to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
I understand you're the founder of the Onwadan Charity Foundation. You guys are doing a whole lot of different types of humanitarian efforts. How are you guys utilizing blockchain in that?
We come up with an organization to use and assist basically the children. And we seem to adopt the method of blockchain through the use of cryptocurrency. We have seen what the future have, and we choose to adopt the method of blockchain because the things are really changing now. It's not going to in a traditional way or before. So the impact the blockchain is making around the world. So adapting the method in the charity organization is a welcome development. So that's how we choose to use blockchain, and it is quite fantastic. We are the first blockchain charity legally registered in Africa, and the impact we are making to humanity is quite amazing.
So what kind of areas are you focusing on with your charity work?
We are looking at the aspect of giving educational support for orphans, empowering youth, rehabilitation, and also support to aged people as well.
Awesome. It's nice to see how far around the world crypto can really reach to make a difference.
Yeah, so some of those videos you are seeing there are some of the outreach we've done. Some are the hospital visitation we did, where we kind of go to hospital visitation and make pay hospital bills to some people, some less privileged, especially those that maybe they were unable to put the hospital bills. We pay the bills, and some of them we donate relief materials. And the other one is some orphans we supported educationally. We donated writing materials to them, and some of them also paid their educational fees as well. And the recent video we did was a Feed the Hungry initiative, which we went around and supplying food to beggars along the street.
Okay, so are you setting up like food drives for these people, or are you sending them funds to purchase food? How are you distributing the collections that you guys come up with to say feed people in these areas?
You mean the distribution of the food?
Yes. Do you distribute the food, or do you distribute funds to purchase the food? How do you do that?
How we did that, we contracted a caterer, so he gave us an estimate. So we make the payment for the cook. So they get the food ready. We go to the location and distribute the food to them.
Okay,
That's awesome. I love that.
yeah.
I kind of like seeing that full all the way to the end interaction with charity, because a lot of times, especially in the current world we're in, where it's so easy to just send money, you see a lot of charities that are only just changing hands of funds. They're not really out there doing anything. So they, they get the money and then they just send people money and let them go buy their food or whatever. So it's nice to see that you are actually going out there and interacting with the people and actually, being in it and not just sending money out.
Actually, I think it would be really neat to see some video of you guys doing this.
Mitch, I'll send you a link. There is
there is video. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk about this one very much yet. So there is a video, and several of them actually out there. I believe he even called out Change Angel in this one, giving people food and stuff. So it's really cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Apologies.
No problem.
Yeah, there's lots of pictures and stuff too. They're out there. They got a whole team. How big is your team now, Onwadan?
As it is now, I have about 12 members working with me. And what we basically do, we'll in our website, we will have a program layout which we embark on step by step. So each of the program, like Feed the Hungry initiative, on our website you can see that educational support for orphans and others. So each of those programs, when we raise the fund, we execute it. Then I make sure that I follow up each of the program to the last, and we don't go about and distribute money. What we do is that about, like, for instance, the educational aspect, we go to the school, we get the number of the orphans children, we register them for the we register them for the examination, then we make the payment, and each of those things we have document proving for it. And sometimes we get the educational support materials and distribute to them as well. So, and each of those things we make sure that the record are well kept.
That's good that you're strongly involved in what's going on. There's something to be said about having a hands-on approach as a creator of anything, for that matter, let alone the charity. I think that's very commendable that you foresee and you oversee everything that happens. That's a good thing.
So, Onwadan, how did you get into crypto in the first place? How did you actually discover it? And did your charity exist before crypto came along and you started utilizing it, or did it kind of help inspire it?
Actually, I came across a crypto online, and I follow a kind of some tutorials, some guide on it, and I felt that introducing the system into my organization, it would be a very, very good thing. So I went for the training, so to know much more about it, how it's being handled, the technicalities involved. So, and after which, I involved my team on it, introduced the system to them. Though in the initial stage, it was a bit complicated, but with time, they get to know much more about it. Then we started with the orientation by going around informing people what crypto is all about. Sometimes we even organize a seminar. Sometimes we attend seminars to introduce crypto to some people, and some charities around. We informed them. Even many of them rejected the idea of enabling crypto in their organization, but we remain focused. So from there, I started pushing for crypto usage in my organization. And the first organization that first gave us a clue was Verge currency. So a friend of mine online introduced me to Verge platform, and the team really welcomed me. And then we are kind of going through the registration process of the organization. Then we are not fully registered. Verge asked us, are we fully registered? I told them no, but the registration was in progress then. And they were like, are you sure that you're actually coming in for charity? Hope you're not coming for scam, because there's this negative connotation of the Black using charity gender because I have passion to assist mostly the orphans because I've come to realize that orphan children are fully neglected by the public and these children are dying in pains. So when I introduced my vision and mission to the Verge community, they were like, it's okay, but how are we sure that you are real? Because one, you are not registered. Two, the distance, we cannot really trace where you are, though we know that you are coming from Africa, Nigeria to be precise, but how comfortable can we have in you that the organization is actually coming to make impact, not for scam? So I told them that with time, the truth will be told. Though some people use a charity for scam in so many ways before, but we are coming to make to rewrite the negative handwriting on the wall. Though from start, it's difficult to believe because many people that does scam before use charity. So you're not producing charity to us, and also want us to work into the community of Verge. I know that it's going to be a kind of, we don't want anything that is going to tarnish our organization. Even a time came, Verge was like, before we can fully enable your platform in our own organization, please kindly take off anything like Verge logo, Verge address and your page until you are fully registered. It's when you register, we can access the document. Then by then we can really believe that you are actually legitimate. And also as well, if you have a corporate account, because we know that financial institution like bank cannot register a scam organization. So you must provide the necessary document, that which is traceable, issued by the government. So we follow the due process. God so can at the end of it all, we're able to get the full registration of the foundation. Then we flag up. So we introduced the crypto blockchain method because we know the revolution is blockchain. The negative impact that fiat have created, the scam aspect. So blockchain is coming to rewrite the handwriting. So that's why we now adopt the method of blockchain, and now as a fully registered blockchain charity organization in Nigeria.
I love hearing that story, and I love how you were able to start at the very beginning and have these challenges that you're looking at, about getting registered and actually becoming a charity. And then you find the blockchain community, and then people like Verge. I mean, I love the Verge team. We had Justin Vendetta on the show, and they're just awesome people. We met Mark in Las Vegas, and so I'm definitely not surprised at all to hear that they helped you out like that. But it's cool that through that community, you were able to take the next steps to get to the point that you needed to show your validity, because I can't imagine how hard it is trying to do something legitimate in Nigeria, because I know from my perspective in the United States, when I hear anything from Nigeria, and I know this sounds bad, but like when I hear something from Nigeria, my first thought is it's a scam, because all of the 419 email scams, it just all came out of Nigeria. And so it's just kind of like a stigma that is no longer relevant, that just sticks in your head. And so I don't know, it's nice seeing some like legitimate action happening.
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, before I decided to come out with a blockchain method charity in Nigeria, I have taken the analysis of the negative impact Nigeria have in the international body. I choose to stand over the odds to make sure that we erase that negative thought. We face a lot of criticisms, we face a lot of discriminations. In fact, our first official Twitter handle was blocked. A lot of people are like, we don't trust you, you are not registered, we don't believe that anything coming from Nigeria, we don't believe that is legitimate. You people are scam, you want to scam people, you want to use blockchain to scam people, to accumulate as much as cryptocurrency in your platform, then they block the page, then they run away.
Right.
I told them that despite the fact we are not registered then, that the registration is in progress. And as soon as everything is registered, we are going to bring the information to the public. Even the many we are like, okay, you don't have registration document, you don't have a website. How can we prove? How can we believe that you are real? So when the criticism was coming so much on Twitter, just one day we log into our official page of Twitter, we are just being told that we have been suspended. Onwa_Dan. That was our first official Twitter handle.
Wow.
Then we have to come up with this one, but to the glory of God, before we the Onwadan F now to be in our official handle now, we make sure that we get the registration ready, and which is we decided to put our RC number on our official page so that anyone can access it anywhere in the world. It can write to the federal government of Nigeria to inquire about the organization. And to crown it all as well, we are even being approved now by SCUMI. There's an organization in Nigeria called SCUMI. I don't know what I have heard about EFCC. It's an organization that oversees everything about scam and fraud and others. SCUMI is is a sub-body of EFCC to oversees anything about NGO. And if it's not legally registered and is being monitored by government to make sure that no crime, no scam activities being carried out. They check our document, they check our our transactions, they monitor our corporate account in the bank there. So that's how we have to put forward of the RC on the official page now, so that anyone can say. And since we do that, the accusation of they are scam, they are not being real, and others at least have been stopped. So anyone can write to federal government of Nigeria inquiring about Onwadan Charity Foundation. And what we are doing to humanity in Africa is quite amazing. And I must say a big thank you for the blockchain community, because the revolution have really contributed immensely to humanity.
Oh, agreed, 100%. I think there's a couple of things I'd like to touch on real quick. The first one is the stereotype or the stigmatism that Nigeria has been stuck with because of the past.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not just centralized there. There's so much scam activity within this space, and I think it's gotten better. I think you're hearing less about it. You're seeing less pop up because there's more unity within the community that we all look out for one another, and I think that's important. So as the space matures, I think we will have a strong enough self-policing force in place that we won't succumb to scams as easily as we used to in the past. Now, that being said, transparency is key with anybody that's doing anything that's receiving funds for whatever. I think 100% transparency is critical in today's society, regardless of what it is, simply because it puts people at ease when they can see everything that's happening and know that what they're seeing is a legitimate action, like on the blockchain. I think that form of comfort brings a level of peace to the people that are witnessing it. So, that being said, with what you're doing with the charity and helping those in Africa, I really, really commend that and, stand behind that as well. And I think, you coming together, seeing all this stuff from the seed movement happening on Twitter and jumping on onto that with us, and, the relationship that's been crazily built with changeangel.io. There's a lot of positive energy moving forward, and that's huge for all of us and the people that need assistance.
Absolutely.
Because I think charities in general, and not, it doesn't matter where they're from, but charities in general, like the professor said, have just got a bad stigma. As soon as you hear charity, people cringe because there's so much mismanagement of funds. There's so much greed and pocket dipping, so to speak, within those charity industries or the charities themselves. It's just, the money's not going for what it's intended to, and yada, yada. So people automatically have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to the word charity. And me personally, I kind of prefer like a fund, like, because when we did a little bit of fundraising for an individual, and the monies that are left over from that are going to go to changeangel.o to be a steward of. And I'd like to see us all create a helping hand fund. So it's not a charity. Not everybody needs charity, but every once in a while, everybody runs across a time where they need a helping hand.
Yeah.
Just that little boost up, because we all fall on shit. We all fall on hard times. And, just that little nudge of assistance can make the world a difference for someone. So, beyond the word charity, I think our generosity and the fact that we all have a lot to be thankful for can be shared with people in a multitude of ways, and not just from a charity standpoint.
Yeah.
So,
well, one thing it really shows you is just how quick people are to judge by they form such strong beliefs around like a single word, right? Or a single location, and then they just make assumptions before they actually look deeper. So I don't know. It's one of those things that's got to be really, really frustrating.
Like I said, a lot of negative connotations surrounding the charity organizations, and because of that, it's quite difficult to believe that charity springing up now is transparent and sincere, because there's a lot of money changing hand, as he said, a lot of the truth being not being told, a lot of negative aspects going behind the scene of charity. But I want to let you know that Onwadan Charity Foundation is actually coming for making change. We are coming to rewrite the negative handwriting on the wall. We are coming to impact lives. We want to rewrite the story of negative belief of charity as for before. But as I said before, many organizations never know about blockchain in Africa. We introduce it, but as a result of positive impact and the track record we've made so far in this short period of time, we are fully registered on February this year, 2019. But the positive track record we have been able to put forward from that February to date is quite amazing. So the charity we are bringing in now into the blockchain is not the charity that used to be known as charity of all kind of characters, negative move, and the money changing hand. We are very, very much more transparent. And our yes is yes, and our no is no.
So I was going to ask you a little bit earlier, but let's step into this now. I'm kind of curious to see how the general community, your local community, actually differs from ours in their knowledge of crypto. So around here, I'm in Montana, Mitch is in Michigan, and it seems like very few people in the real world, around us actually know what crypto even is. I've yet to meet anybody who's been very deeply into crypto other than the one guy at the pizza place that sold me chicken wings for Litecoin. In your community, Is it pretty well known, or is it kind of the same? Is it still really early and nobody really knows about it?
Through our introduction of a blockchain charity organization, honestly speaking, the acceptance and adoption of crypto is quite increasing at the high rate. Checking the internet now, you find that Africa is leading in crypto mass adoption. And we did this because each time we go for outreach, we always educate the people what the crypto is all about, tell them that what we are doing is never a support from anywhere, but rather the blockchain industry. So, so many of, even in the church where we worship, sometimes we have a kind of a gathering. We introduce to them that what crypto is all about. So, and by so doing, the mass adoption of crypto through our method of charity is seriously increasing at a high rate. So we are pushing for mass adoption. So with the support of other cryptocurrency, other blockchain communities to us now, is going to give us more leverage. Like if you go to our website, you see some pictures we posted about Verge, a logo and cap and thereabout. Sometimes we print shirts and distribute. Sometimes we print exercise books and distribute to schools. A below of it, we always indicate blockchain, crypto. So sometimes what is the blockchain is all about? What is crypto is all about? So we are going around giving orientation to the people and educating them what is it all about. And the acceptance is at the high side.
So other than charity, how is crypto positively affecting you and your community?
Oh, crypto has really contributed to us in a much more good way. One, it saves us the stress of going through the traditional way of donation and getting the fund, accessing the fund as well. Crypto it makes it much more easier. And secondly, crypto enable us to keep a proper account, and at the same time, it creates room for transparency. It creates room for transparency, and based on what the support we have gotten from the blockchain industry, blockchain community rather, the impact we've made so far is quite amazing. It's quite amazing. So for the short period of time we started, what we've done, some organizations, some charities have set up for 2 to 3 years ago have not even gotten to the point of achievement we've made so far. So all these are the good tracking record that crypto has made us to set up for.
Man, that's really I'm just so blown away by it. I mean, it's such a good, and I know what it's like, maybe not to that level, but to have that feeling of achievement when, you know, you actually see what you're doing is making an impact to those around you is very, it's very powerful. And so I can only imagine what it's like to affect a community in the way that you are, and the way that your foundation or your group is. So that's really cool. But I want to ask this question: when you seen the seed card map, have you been, or anyone on your team been interactive with planting those seeds in somewhat the same fashion, or have you done things in other ways to achieve that?
Oh, Change Angel, the amazing community that have really given us the support and have been really been there for us. So the what they just brought about now, the map is quite amazing. So by so doing, the crypto adoption will be at a fast pace any moment from now. So Change Angel is really making much more impact to in the crypto community and as well as charitable organization.
Yes, I agree in the sense that Change Angel is an amazing project, and I think spreading their project around, all of us, engaging and supporting, I think is a big importance. And so that's another positive step for this community. I think was having that relationship start to build between all of us and Change Angel and yourselves. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Now, from a question standpoint, I do have one question for you that I'd like to ask. If you could replace your right arm with any household object, what would you replace your arm with? And what would you use it for?
If I'm to replace with any household object.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And what would I like it to be?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use television.
Okay.
You know why I say so?
What is that?
Why?
Constantly I place my eyes on you.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
It's good. I like it.
That's perfect.
Because television is one of the things that after everything, I'll have my time. I read through the news. Each day I must place my eyes on it. So I replace it with the object in the house. That's television.
That's cool.
Sometimes when you just need to tune out from the real world, just lift up your arm.
Of course. Yeah, of course, I understand.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, do you do any trading with crypto?
No, I don't trade crypto. What I do is each donation, even if it's $10, any support it can give to the community, I get it and do that. Like now, any moment from now, actually we have about 30 orphans in our educational supports that we're kind of paying their tuition fees, their educational materials, and other support and feeding as well. But as of early last month, some organization wrote to us for support about additional 15 orphans. But we told them that based on our capacity now, we cannot really absorb additional 15 with the 30 we have, making 45. So what we are going to do is that we can absorb 10. And that 10 now, the children are going through this, we call it common entrance examination. It's examination that children have to write to finish the primary school to move into the secondary school. Or I don't know, you know about the secondary school.
Secondary school?
Yes. So the primary school is a stage that is a final stage the children finish and move into the secondary school. So when this about 3 schools wrote to us to support about some orphans, so we told them that we cannot absorb about 15 orphans in addition with the 30 we have on ground we are working with. That based on our capacity now, because there's no much funds with us, so we can only absorb 10, adding to the 30 we have, making 40. So
Correct.
we are working towards now registering these orphans to make sure that they sit for this examination to enable them to further their education. So before end of this month, because the registration is going to close by first week of December. So and the children are going to sit for the exam on second week of February. And as soon as we register these children, we are going to bring the transactional record to the crypto community online. the payment of the educational the examination, and as well we are going to get the registration details from the Federal Ministry of Education to show to the community, because Changeje was actually the major sponsor of that. The support they gave to us the last time enabled us to donate about 450 writing materials to schools.
Wow.
So we promise them credibility, we promise them transparency, we promise them accountability, and we can't afford to disappoint them and the crypto community entirely. So these orphans, now we are going to register them for this examination by end of this month, because we are kind of looking at the funds in our custody now is not enough, because the what we have now can only accommodate about 4. So we are kind of playing for more support for critical community, so that when we get these funds now, we can be able to register these children. And as soon as we get them registered, the critical community is going to be notified about it. So that is the next move we are going to do now before the year round up, because we are also going to do the Christmas support for the orphans, and also to the less privileged as well in the community. So before end of this month, definitely you guys are going to have the information of these additional 10 orphans that we included in our educational support. So we do this for passion.
Right.
We never do it for profit making. It gives us joy to take away the tears of the masses out there. Whenever we see people passing through challenges and difficulties, is a burden to me. So that was the reason why I come up with the platform. Even before I set up my charity organization, I usually go out and distribute things to people and do outreach as well in schools, hospitals, orphanage home, and thereabout. But constantly doing it, and I've come to realize that I think an organization should be set up. One organization is being set up that will oversee those aspects. So that was the reason why I came up with the charity organization. And seeing the amazing impact and the love and passion and support that's coming from the crypto community, I choose to adopt the method. And I quite appreciate the community for their support so far. The crypto community have been so amazing. It's one of the community that treat you as if you guys are from the same family.
Right.
There is one of the community that treat you as if you are bloodly related.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's so much love in crypto community. They can't see you shedding tears while they're rejoicing. So you are shedding tears. They share your pains with you. You are happy. They share. They rejoice with you. So I quite appreciate them. At least we've gotten the support from Change Angel, Lycon Community, Verge Currency, Gigabyte, and we also also want to use this medium to appeal for other critical communities to support us. Frankly speaking, crypto community is going to be highly represented in Africa and Nigeria, to be precise. So the mass adoption of crypto we are seriously pushing for it here. So later, after the outreach of the support for the 10 additional orphans now for the examination and the Christmas, maybe early next year, we are going to be doing what is called crypto rally. We are going to introduce what is called crypto rally. We are going to print shared cards and go around the street and distribute exercise books, other material, umbrellas, and other. These are the things we are going to also execute maybe early next year, January, February, thereabout. And though as soon as we move into the next year, January, I know the school registration is going to be there. We're also going to cater for all those orphans that are under our educational support. And though most times it's not entirely the donation you get to use and do the outreach. Sometimes it's your personal money. You use your personal money to also support. So we are going to do that the crypto rally by next year. So by so doing, and also we're also communicating with the media organizations like radio, newspaper, and also television as well. But early next January, we are going to do crypto publication on newspapers, and as soon as we do that, we are also going to publish it. Post it to the crypto community to see what we are doing, because like in Nigeria here, there's widely read newspaper called Sports. So Sport is one of the newspaper pages. 95% of Nigeria have access to that newspaper. So by the time we are going to publish what those crypto communities are doing, Verge, Gigabyte, Litecoin, is going to create much more awareness and enable mass adoption of a crypto community.
Yes, and I think that's important for everyone that's listening right now to realize that, this all starts with the community. So, if you don't pay attention, or if you don't follow what this charity and what this fine gentleman is doing, I suggest you guys look into it from a worthy cause standpoint. I think this is at the top of my list right now. So, we'll see. Hopefully we can get this podcast out relatively soon and, help spread some awareness for you, as well as putting, this out on Twitter and staying active on Twitter. I think that's a big thing. Keeping your presence in the space is huge. And, the more people see you and the more people see what's happening, the more activity and the more awareness they're going to get as well. So, kudos to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. This has been a really good podcast, and I think it's really informative. Definitely blessed. This community's blessed, as well as cryptocurrency is, to have fine ambassadors such as yourself do these things for people in need. So I want to extend this warm thank you and a big fist bump to you, sir.
I quite appreciate, and I also want to use this medium to say a big thank you to you guys. The push for mass adoption. Believe me, the collaboration of crypto community and the charity organization is going to do amazing. Is going to do amazing job in mass adoption of crypto in no distance time. Many governments are be kicking against it, but with love and unity we are seeing in the crypto community, we are winning. We are winning. The crypto is winning.
Yes.
And I think at the last time I saw organization like UNICEF enabling a donation of crypto in the organization, is quite is an welcome development. So by the time we carry out much more awareness of crypto by next year, believe me, by this time next year, I think we should be able to have about, if I'm not mistaken, 75 to 80% of acceptance of crypto all over the world. So with what we are doing in the charity organization, using crypto, the impact, the awareness is unstoppable. And I also want to thank the lady that brought me in to this broadcast, Rebecca. She's an amazing. She was kind of Onwadan. I think with what you're doing in this thing, I think you should be able to have opportunity to speak with the professor and the crypto campfire on broadcast. And she sent me the link, which I follow up.
There you go.
I love it. Rebecca's great. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
This was a good conversation.
Yes, it was.
Do you want to tell everybody your website address so they can find you, and let them know how they can make a donation if they would so choose?
Yes, we are on www.onwadan Foundation. Onwadan is spelled at Onwadan, then foundation.org. So, and we make use of coinpayment.net. So, because why we adopt the coinpayment.net method, because is one of the organizations that enable you to donate with different kind of different cryptocurrencies. I think above 1,000 number of cryptocurrencies, and so it's going to save all the stress of sending different kind of wallet, QR code, and thereabout. So on our website there, it can donate. And from there, you can also see the corporate account of the organization, being we use Access Bank. So you can donate with coinpayment.net, using coinpayment.net, or but the crypto is amazing. So I also want to appreciate Change Angel. They are such an amazing community.
Yes.
The love, the passion, the support. In fact, they have really surprised us beyond our imagination. They have really treated us as if they have known us for years. Ben and Co, they have been there for us. Also want to use this medium to also appreciate a young lady. She has been also an amazing lady in the midst. Kate is also she's amazing. I also want to appreciate the Gigabyte community, the Litecoin community, the Verge currency. We can't thank you guys enough, and most especially Campfire. You guys are so amazing. Out of your tight schedule, you still have time to have this kind of conversation with us. It's really giving us a kind of joy that we are recognized out there. And I want to let you guys know that we can never let you guys down. We are going to work with crypto community, the blockchain, and I promise, as the founder of Onwadan Charitable Foundation, we can never disappoint you guys.
Well, you guys are already doing great things, so just keep it up, and we look forward to seeing how much change you can affect in the coming year, because I think it's going to be amazing.
Right, and looking forward to helping get this out there and continue to support you, and get your word out there for adoption and for the charity. So thank you again, sir, for coming on the show. This was an amazing podcast. We really enjoyed your time, and it's our pleasure to have you on. So you, sir, have a great day. Thank you again for coming on.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Definitely, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Good times.
Yeah, it was nice to actually kind of talk to him, because they popped up on Twitter a few months ago.
Yes.
And, my first thought, like I said earlier, was, charity foundation from Nigeria accepting crypto. And of course, the first thing I do is assume it's a scam. And I hadn't looked into it. I also didn't, say anything. I didn't comment. I just kind of scrolled past it. And then I started seeing them more and more. And then they got involved with the seed cards. And I kind of started looking into it. And, it actually is a legitimate charity. And it's nice to see, something that's actually legit for once. And you're so used to being let down in this crypto space.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even just say crypto space, like the modern world,
Just the world in general is a letdown in so many aspects.
Yeah. So it's nice it's refreshing to look into something and see that somebody's really making a difference, and somebody out there fighting a good fight and actually trying. So I don't know. It was cool to talk to him and get that second level insight.
Well, it's like we always say, and I think everyone needs to start adopting the nature of saying, verify, but don't be so quick to judge.
Right.
Anybody
Exactly.
or anything just based on first appearance or based on first impression or based on somebody's hearsay. I can't stress the importance of this enough for us all to take people's feelings into consideration, because as soon as you make a judgment, and God forbid that judgment's false or that judgment's incorrect, what you've not only done is you've not only brought negative awareness to something that's not even true, but you've also damaged your integrity and the person that you've made a judgment of. So, be careful, and don't be so quick to judge just based on prior experiences with different things, because stereotyping and the reality is just so different.
Exactly. It's and at the same time, it's also an interesting look at the way humans think.
Sure.
You start seeing that patterns, and then you don't think that anything can ever change. You start associating something with the scam, and then just kind of like sticks in your head. No matter how open-minded you are, sometimes those judgments just kind of come back, and then you're like, oh wait, I got to stop and think a little bit, and maybe actually look deeper into this.
I mean, like the other day on Twitter, and I'll make this quick. The other day on Twitter, there was this guy that posted something about, and I haven't even had a chance to look into it, but it was something that was backed by gold that you could get into.
Oh yeah, saw this conversation.
You could actually buy gold or something as like they would hold it for you, which I'm still struggling with, only because of the prior knowledge that I have about it. But I also, treated it with respect and left my mind open to hear this person's, because at first I said, I call bullshit. that's exactly what I said. I call bullshit. And he said, why is that? I said, well, typically blah, 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 something that's backed by paper is not always backed by what it says it's backed by. It's no different than our bank saying, to go to the bank and try and pull out 20 grand. Oh, well, we don't hold on to that. We'll have to get that for you. So, I really struggle with derivatives and stuff like that. So that's one of the main reasons. But it was just, but I did say at the end of my comment, I am open to, your input. So to be open to somebody's rebuttal is important, I think, in our own growth.
Yeah, it's all about having an open mind. That's the key, just being able to assess something on a different level than just making a knee-jerk reaction assumption and rolling with it.
I mean, Professor, if you and I didn't have the mindset and the drive and passion that we have, I don't think we'd be here today. I don't think we would, be as fortunate as we are today to have this amazing community behind us, would we? If we were closed-minded and didn't open our thoughts to alternatives?
Probably not, because we would just be sitting here in our own little world, loving whatever token we were obsessed with and hating
Right.
on everybody else, throwing.
Exactly. So, oh my God, what a great podcast. This was a good day. I got work to do, and you know what? The sun is shining,
Yeah,
and it's like,
same here.
I can't make hay. I can melt some snow. So,
Hey, it works. Gets the job
right
done.
on. Exactly. So have a great day, guys. Thanks again for listening. If you get a chance, take a look at CoinFlip ATMs. When it comes to ATMs, their prices can't be beat. Their fees can't be beat. They're the best and most integrity based in the industry, as far as I'm concerned, and the Campfire is concerned. Wouldn't you agree with that, Professor?
Yeah, definitely. Check them out. They just are now number one in the world with ATM placements. And on top of that, the guys are just amazing. I mean, it's a great team. They're awesome people. Definitely worth looking into. Get on coinflip.tech. Check the map. If you don't have one in your area, find a local business owner that would want to have one. Get one in your town. And if you do have one, go try it out and let us know on Twitter.
Yeah. So, guys, have a great day. Thanks again for joining us. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a voice. So thank you for all your support. Talk to you guys soon.
Take it easy.
Peace.